The U.S. Department of Labor is reporting the lowest number of new unemployment claims since the coronavirus pandemic began. 684,000 people requested unemployment benefits last week. That is a decrease of 97,000 from the week before. President Biden addressed the economy during his first official press conference earlier today. And while he approved of the progress made so far, he made it clear there's a lot of work still to be done.
It's the first time in a year the number has fallen below the pre-pandemic high. So there are still too many Americans out of work, too many families hurting, and they still have a lot of work to do. But I can say to you, the American people, help is here and hope is on the way.
Joining me now is Lori Bettinger. Lori is the co-president of BancAlliance. She's also the former director of the Troubled Asset Relief Program during the Obama administration. Lori, welcome. Thank you for being with us. What does this low number of new unemployment claims tell you about the state of the economy and where we're heading?
Well, I have to say it's good to see the trend moving in the right direction. But when you look at the number itself, it's not that low. It just feels low after a year of, really terrible numbers. And so I'm so glad, as I think everyone is, to see this, unemployment trends. It feels like we're seeing, less new claims, but the number itself is still pretty high, particularly in a historical perspective. And those are still people and families and communities being affected. So the way I see it is, we're seeing businesses pull back on the layoffs, but it's not as though we're starting to see a huge hiring bump yet. I think that a lot of companies are still in a bit of a wait and see mode to see, hey, is this it? Are we really, starting to turn? Is this, the it of the COVID shutdowns? Or are there more to come? And should we, only hire a few people here and there, but not really plan for additional growth?
And Lori, in his press conference, we heard the president take some credit for the improvement of the economy. How much do you think that President Biden's American Rescue Plan is playing into the number of jobless claims filed?
Well, I think it's probably too early to be able to directly tie the American Rescue Plan to sort of the diminishment of the unemployment numbers. I mean, we're just starting, right? We've seen some of the initial direct consumer support go into place. But I think it'll be interesting over the next weeks and months. Do businesses feel like they have that certainty to start hiring? Do small businesses feel like, they can really get their feet under them and, maybe rehire some people that in some cases they laid off, they hired, and they had to lay off again, which I think is a process that no one really wants to go through. So I think, the great thing about the rescue plan, which just passed, is that the good news is you can see that, we're going directly to consumers, whether it's the stimulus check, whether it's the additional unemployment benefits, those are all direct helps. But in terms of hiring, I'm not sure you can see that direct effect yet, because clearly PPP has been going for some time. And I think that, both rounds 1 and 2 have had a really strong impact on it, reducing unemployment.
Right. So, Lori, as you pointed out, despite the downward trend, there's still a very large number of people who are without jobs. President Biden wants to focus on adding jobs by focusing on infrastructure, which he indicated is going to be one of his next things to focus on. How much of an impact can the upcoming infrastructure bill or the big Build Back Better plan have on unemployment if it passes?
I think that could have a real direct impact on employment because, when the president talked about the scale of some of these plans and, the magnitude and sort of good, well-paying jobs, I mean, then you could really see, I think, a sustained recovery in the labor markets, not just sort of a little bit in this sector, a little bit in that sector. If you can really implement that plan and get these projects started sooner rather than later and do them, effectively, I think we really could start to see the employment figures improve in a way that's sustainable, which would be, I think, very exciting for everyone to see.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Lori Bettinger, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time and your insight.
Thank you.